speaking at on New Year's Eve. Here we go. Sue Wong's, she's a famous fashion designer's house. There we go.
For me, luxury is time because I never have enough of it. The other way I would really define luxury is beauty. And beauty is something that I really surround myself with. And in that way, I feel that I have a very luxurious life. Beauty is what really nurtures me, and it's just really is a regenerative force. So I come from the Taishan region of Guangdong province, which is really the southernmost province in China. I was born in a little remote village that probably is the equivalent of 16th century feudal China. We're standing in front of the now iconic Sue Wong portrait by artist Jamie Odgers. I had this portrait commissioned a few years ago, and it just really turned or morphed into a portrait of me. This ceiling is decoupage, and it has probably 1,000 or more small cherubic angels attached to it. Well, we're standing in the grand ballroom of the Cedars, and this is really one of the most impressive living rooms. As a matter of fact, I was told by one of the top real estate agents who was really curious to really see the Cedars because he was representing the Cecil B. DeMille mansion. And I happened to have met him, so I invited him over. And his jaws dropped when he really walked into this room because he said, oh my God, this is really, it has to be, in his opinion, one of the top 5 living rooms in all of the LA basin. And it's a very grand, beautiful, luxurious space. It's probably, most people's homes would really fit inside this entire room. It's probably close to 2,000 square feet, first of all. And the centerpiece of this room is this beautiful gilded colonnade to the side of me. And when I did the restoration, I really kept all the gold leaf, which by the way, when I really came into possession of the house, it was all black. Everything was pitch black practically. And all the gold leaf was really peeling off. So it really sort of had this faded decay and decadence to it. All the frescoes were faded and they were almost basically non-perceptible. So I had to really bring all that back. But I wanted to really maintain, or I wanted to retain its patina of antiquity. So I really kept the gold sort of antiqued. And I really wanted to really stay true and be period appropriate to the 1920s. So all the furnishings that I have really chosen for this house, I basically shopped the world for some of these antiques that you see here. Some of it I created. For instance, the ziggurat Art Deco sofa behind me is one of my creations. And I just really feel that as an artist or as a designer, I basically can design anything. From jewelry to environments, to furniture, to garden landscape, to shoes, to handbags. I really have done it all.
She's an fashion designer.
I started creating these pieces when I started scouring LA for Art Deco. And in particular, I love French Art Deco. And none of it was really available here. So I created a few pieces, like the sofa that I just really mentioned. And then I decided to go to France. You know, I went to Paris, my favorite glamour city, capital of the world. And there I saw all these really gorgeous,
and she's conservative,
French Art Deco pieces. For instance, this beautiful painting was basically commissioned by me, and it's called The Three Goddesses. Sitting on a throne chair, which is from the late Baroque period. I bought it from an antique dealer who bought it from Paris, Originally, they were from the Habsburg family, but they ended up at a museum in Montreal, and the museum had to divest itself
It's not dirty
of some of
money.
its
She was a
coatings
fashion
and
designer.
to raise money for their
Stop
coffers.
it.
So these were sent
Stop
to
it.
Paris for auction.
She's my friend.
This is the legendary Jimi Hendrix suite.
Jimi Hendrix.
It's also called the Moroccan room. And I basically dedicated this entire room to my bohemian past, also because Jimi
It's a meet and
Hendrix slept
greet.
here.
It's not a
I did everything in the Moroccan manner long before I went to Morocco for the first time.
Interior design.
I designed this room
and
about
art.
8.5 years ago.
Jimi Hendrix
I was
room.
only in Morocco maybe a little over 1.5 years ago. I love the colors here. It's sort of this rich cinnabar. The cabinetry was really hand painted in a Moroccan manner by an old art assistant of
Jimi
mine.
Hendrix room.
I designed this really built-in alcove, which is really patterned after a Moroccan banquette. And these are all authentic Moroccan tables. I cheated with the Indian archway that you see here. This is an antique Indian hand-carved archway. I think I'm really inspired by life because I feel that I'm a very enlivened human being, and I'm really just inspired by the radiance of life all around me.
Okay, everyone. This is not a political show, but congratulations to Kyle Rittenhouse for being innocent. You knew he was, and they can't do anything about it. And we have things that are turning around. So that's an interior design. That's what I do. And she's a fashion designer. She's the famous Sue Wong. All her dresses were sold at Macy's, Neiman Marcus, Bonwit Tellers, everywhere. She's going to be on. Also, Michael Jaco, also Sacha Stone, and also Mr. Pink Floyd himself, Mr. Scott Page. So, and just enjoy. It's a meet and greet. It's not a political show, but congratulations to Kyle Rittenhouse. He is free. And yeah, we have a few things that I can share with you before they get on. November 24th, are they pushing Nasera Jacera? And will Clarence Thomas fix the situation when Mr. Oh, the lighting is horrible. When Mr. Let me get the lighting going. When Mr. What's his name? Can't even remember his name. Gets to him. Let me fix the light. Sorry. Oh, I got to fix this before everyone gets on. The lighting's bad. Oops. Sorry. Oopsies. I'm fixing it now before everyone gets on. As you know, this is not a scripted show, so let me try to get it done. Okay, here's a little light. Here's a little better light. Before everyone gets on, yeah, so enjoy the show. It is what it is. It's a meet and greet, so it's not a political show, but there you have some intel right there. I don't even know why this lighting is so bad. Yeah, it's bad. I should move over here. Let me move over here if I can. Maybe switch over. Maybe this will be better here. Oh, way better. Way better. Way a better cheddar. Way better cheddar. Waiting for everyone to get on. What time is it now? In 4 minutes. Everyone will be here. This is a meet and greet. Scott Page of Pink Floyd. Sue Wong, the famous fashion designer. She's just retired. She's my good friend, like my mentor. She does interior design too. And yeah, she likes antiques. So do I. That doesn't mean it's demonic. It just means it's antique. Okay. And yeah, so it's good news for Kyle Rittenhouse. They've arrested some people for protesting, if you know what I mean. And yeah, so Mike Lindell will be talking to the new Chief Justice Clarence Thomas, and we'll see what happens on the 24th. Yes. So there we go. That was really bad lighting a second ago. Now you can see some of my antiques. Let me move my chair around. I'm sitting at a weird angle. It's going to screw up my back. All right. So yes, we're ready to go. We have a few minutes before everyone shows up. That would be Michael Jaco, Scott Page of Pink Floyd. This is just a meet and greet. It's good to have some other shows instead of politics all day long. It's not so draining, and we can have some fun now since we're winning. How's that? And of course, the Treasury has it moved to Reno? Yeah, there we go. That's all I have to say. And we have to ask if Trump's going to be in Texas, the new WH, maybe. Yeah. And so we have about 2 minutes before everyone's supposed to show up. So just enjoy this. It's not a political show. Sometimes we need to get away from that. All the politics were good for a while. And now we have to call these people to make sure that they show up. Okay. There we go. All right. So let's wait for all of them to come on. Let me call Sue. Make sure we're going to be staying at her house. I'm going to be staying at, what's her name's room? That actress's room. I'll ask her what the name of it is. I don't know those older actresses. Greta Garbo. She said I'm going to stay in the Greta Garbo room. So, okay. All right. So hopefully she knows how to click on and get on. All right. So, Sue Wong. Okay, I'm calling her right now. She should be on in 2 minutes. Sacha will be on, and he's running to his hotel in Mexico. Everyone is running. It's funny. Yeah. Have no communication skills. I can't listen to people. I'm calling you over. She doesn't even know why. Listen, people have no communication skills. And why call people puritanicals? Why are you coming to my channel to attack? I mean, why? I don't get it. Why are you coming here to attack? I had to block that one person. You should have seen him attacking. That was not great. They're just beasts. And I didn't even advertise this show. Hi, Sue. It's Kirsten. Waiting on you. It's time. 1 minute. Click on. Okay, yeah. Yeah. And this is the other freak, Orrin Kugler, that was stalking me. He's in Connecticut. He's a stalker. Yeah. That's Orrin Kugler. I exposed him. I put his picture on there. He's stalking me from Connecticut. All the freaks are coming out, and I didn't even advertise them. So all the freaks are coming out to play. All right. So there. Yes, Kyle's a hero. It's all good. All right. All right. We got rid of 2 trolls already. Who else can we get rid of? Watch out. There's lots of trolls. Moderators, start blocking them. Okay. Yes. I had to get rid of 2. Yeah. So this is a fun show. It's not politics this time, thank God. It's something else, so we can relax and enjoy. Okay, here we go. Sasha's on. Hey, Sacha.
Hey, how you doing, Kirsten?
Good. I'm waiting for Mr. Pink Floyd. That would be Sue wants to give you guys the Jimi Hendrix room. I hope that's okay with you. It's all good. I'm calling her again. She's not good at thing, and Scott Page of Pink Floyd's going to be on too. So
Sweet.
Waiting for him. Hold on. Thanks for coming on. This is not a political show. This is just a fun show.
Listen,
this is a meetup for the New Year's Eve party. I don't know where she is, but Okay, let me see if Michael's coming on. We have 4 people. Okay, so everyone, this is just I already showed you what her house looked like. Hello, Sue. I'm waiting for you. Sasha's already on. He's on already. We're waiting. Yeah, just click on the thing and then just yeah, Sasha's waiting. Michael Jacobs, they're on their way, and then I don't know what happened with Scott. I gave him the link and he said he's coming on. Scott Page. Okay. All right. Okay, great. All right, see you then. Bye. Okay, so I showed the mansion. I think you've got a thing, and it's all good. Sorry, guys, it's not a political show. We had to get rid of some trolls already. Yeah. Kyle's a hero. Yes, correct, and he's free. Okay. So the people that will be attending this party is the Cult. What is that other group? Pink Floyd, Jane's Addiction. Of course, Sasha Stone. Sasha's going to be speaking, and it's all good. Thanks for coming on. She's
That's
so
all right.
excited. She just
No worries.
she's great. She's like my mom.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah.
Okay, all good.
And it's an old house, and it's going to be a lot of people. So yeah. Hola, Sasha. How are you? Cynthia Diaz. Okay. All right. Yeah, I sent you the link. Hold on. There we go. Okay, there's Michael. Okay, I sent link. No emojis. Hola, Sasha. Sasha's in Tulum. Someone asked why you're in Tulum. There's a lot of corruption there.
It's true. It's true. It's a good, actually a bloody good question. The only reason I'm here is because of the high-speed internet, and I've got back-to-back broadcasting for the next couple of weeks. But I'm actually setting up station in Bacala Laguna, which is beautiful and unspoiled, and we're planning a very big New Earth residential sanctuary there. I'm kind of emulating the Bali project, but a much bigger objective here in Bacala Laguna. But I agree, Tulum is not my favorite place in the world. Good
Yeah,
question.
my girlfriend Nancy lives in, where does she live? She doesn't live in Acapulco. She lives in that other place. She said to visit, what is it called? It starts with an A also. What is on the other side? But I'm sorry about the time change. Okay, the Cult is Ian and Bill. Yeah, they're coming. They're all, she knows a lot of rockers, she knows a lot of rockers. Those are all her friends. So yeah, and she's okay. Scott needs to come on. Let me get Scott on. Scott Page of the thing. Okay, let me call. I'll call him of the Pink Floyd. He's gonna come on right now. Let me get him on. Sorry. Are you coming on? Huh? You don't need a password. Just click on it and you should get in. You didn't need a password, did you, Sasha? No.
No.
It's forcing him to give a password. Why? You don't need a password. It's not giving. What kind of password does it want from you? Oh, your Facebook or Google or something. I hope Sue can make it on because she's technically impaired. Oh, there we go. We have Michael Jaco. We have the Jacos on. There's Tracy. For once, she's on the camera.
Yeah, I didn't know you were having me
She's on
camera.
the camera. You're gonna have to take a toss up for the. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm on the show right now, so I'm with the Jacos and Sasha. Okay, I'll see you in a bit, Scott. Okay, bye. That was Scott Page of the Pink Floyd. I've never really heard of them, but I'm just kidding. Where is she? Now she's probably going to tell me she can't get on. Okay. Hello. Well, no one is. They never ask us for our Facebook to get on. They're having a hard time getting on. What do you have to do? You guys don't have to get your Facebook stuff linked on there, do you?
They wanted like YouTube.
They want it like YouTube. So what do you suggest?
FaceTime? You know,
We
can you
can't
link us
because
all
I've set
together
it
with
up
this
on.
new
I've
thing?
set it up on this. I mean, you wanted to do face to face, so here we are. We're here.
Oh damn! I have to really create a new.
Okay,
password.
here you go. I'm gonna put you on thing speaker. Here, Scott. Sasha. This is Sue Wong. She's got the biggest crush. This is Sasha. There you go.
Hey, Stu.
Hi, Sasha. How are you?
Well, happy to meet you, and happy to look at the handsome face of Michael Jaco at the same time.
Exactly. I hear from all the women, all the shows I've been doing, because you come in with the video. All the women are like, Sasha.
Oh, there's Scott. Scott's on. Scott's on already. Scott's on. Scott figured it out. He's on. He's okay. We're waiting.
I haven't figured out.
Well, you need to figure it out. There's Scott. There's Scott. Scott's on. Okay. Hi, everyone.
Hello, nice to meet you all. Definitely an honor.
Scott, nice to meet
Well,
you.
Scott's on now, so I don't know what to
There you go.
say.
Okay, let me see if I can, create a new password and I'll get back on.
Okay. All right. She's the one that arranged. She's the coordinator, and she can't get on. So I don't know what to. I don't know what to say. But
Well, there you go.
oh, there
Technology.
you go. Okay, so
Money
there's
can't buy everything.
everyone. There's the Jacos. There and my girlfriend Trace never gets on camera. This is the one in the golden time. She's on. Okay, it's all good.
You tricked me.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna let Michael's beautiful face stay on, and I'm gonna
Okay.
sneak out.
Well, that's Scott, and there's Sasha. Yeah, everyone knows everyone.
Oh yes, nice meeting you very much. I've listened to you guys so much through this last year and a half or so. We've been going through it, and I want to thank you very much for a sane freaking conversation, because it's as we all know, it's pretty wacky, right?
Indeed.
Crazy times. I
you.
love that, Sasha. That one you did with Ike was fantastic. That was an incredible interview.
Thank you, Scott. Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
So hopefully we'll have a good time on New Year's Eve at Sue's house,
Oh,
and
man.
I get to wear that really nice dress with the feathers.
There you go. Yeah, Sue's house is really. That's definitely one of the coolest pads you'll ever see. It's unbelievable. It's
Well,
truly-
nice to know that you've alerted all the deep state agents exactly where we'll all be, so they can aim their scalar weapons at us. Nice.
Perfect. Oh, good thinking. Gee whiz. Yeah, but you don't know which one, right? There's many houses.
Yeah, there we go. That's a good thing that's happened to them and Scott, because that's what happened to them. I don't want to have that happen to me. Not in another Chinese person's house. That's really bad luck.
Well, let me tell you. I've just been in Romania with a bunch of military scientists, as you know, Kirsten, looking at this so-called med bed. I call it life pod technologies, which are coming out next year, 100%.
Wow.
Very exciting stuff, and I'm happy to talk about it a bit here. But I also met with a leading group of Italian scientists who've developed a technology. They sent one to my family home in Portugal, and it looks like a Scud missile. It's heavy as hell and about 1.5 meters high, about the diameter. And you plant it into the ground up to a certain level, activate it, and it creates this plasma shield 6 kilometers in radius, 6 kilometers in diameter, 3 kilometers in radius, a complete plasma shield. Good luck to any scalar weapons penetrating that plasma shield, quite seriously.
Wow.
So what I'm going to try and do is make sure that Sue gets one before the New Year's party. How's that?
Oh, has one sent to her.
Perfect. Thank
Put it in
you.
my
That's good.
bedroom. It's all good.
Okay, he wins. He gets the Jimi Hendrix room.
All right. So where is she? She's someone needs to help her with her tech. I mean, it's really
You know what it is? I tell you what it is, because I had a problem with this as well. When you come into your StreamYard, it's demanding that you sign in with either Facebook or YouTube, right?
Right.
Right.
That's the issue. So, and if she's forgotten her password to either of those, then that's going to be a problem.
That's
Yeah.
You should pick an easy password then, like some Chinese character.
No, Brandon. Yeah, Brandon's a great password.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
Except it's being used there. It's being used everywhere, right?
I know it's
Exactly.
mass consumption. Right.
Definitely the word of the year for sure.
Yeah, we just did a show with Scott McKay and Brandon.
Wow.
Is that right?
Brandon, Florida. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
We should invite Scotty. Yeah, Scotty too. Sue, hello. She's not even answering now. Gosh, I don't know what's
Poor
going on.
Sue. Oh,
Well,
Michael,
the fact
how was the show?
It was. They've been really good. We did. I did three with Scott, and heard you come in, and a couple of them you couldn't make it in, unfortunately, that last one. But yeah, you did a really good job. Everybody's really fired up.
Thanks, brother.
Really
have all you guys
Hello?
been following Devolution? Just curious. You must be.
Oh yeah, totally.
just
totally
come
fine.
in again, but
I-
everyone's
I
on.
talked to that
Scott's
before
on.
everybody
They're
else
talking.
did, I think.
Sasha's talking about sending you if you can one of those new medbed technology things.
No, that's not what I said. Watch
No.
it.
Oops.
Oh, that's not what you said. Okay.
It's a plasma protection for the house, for the show.
Oh, plasma protection for the house.
Plasma shield.
Correction.
Yeah.
Plasma protection. The med beds are supposed to be out second and third week of December. December is when my intel. I don't know how to get you in, so I don't know. Yeah, start cam, correct. Oh my gosh. Can Roseanne and Sue should get a tech person into their house to do this. Roseanne has one. Yeah, you need someone to do that. I'm worse at that. Yes, you are entering a broadcast, correct. Yes, and you are the one that arranged this whole thing. There you go. Yes, you want to be on camera, right? Correct? Okay. All right. And then come in. Come. There you are. There you are. There you are. Connected. Device is not connected. You don't need to connect the mic and cam before you can add them onto the screen. So you got to have your camera set up and your microphone so you can speak. Yes, you can. You have to connect them. You have to connect them. Oh my God. You should have called Scott in advance. I'm the worst person to ask about this stuff. Or call one of the guys. I don't know.
Just follow the prompt.
Scott said follow the prompts. If it says
click,
connect device,
allow, and then you should be in.
Connect your camera. Your camera needs to be connected, and then your thing. You should have done this earlier, maybe. Okay, so they will need to continue to connect that microphone and thing. I'm going to try to add you in, but I don't know if I can. It says they will need to connect their microphone and their comm before they can add them to the stream.
She should just be able to click it. It should say allow. That's it.
It says Scott says you just say allow. Just click on allow, and then it'll do it.
Should.
It says she said her app, her browser cannot connect with any. You're not using anything that's using your camera or your mic, are you? Are you on your laptop or you're on your phone? Okay, so then you should be okay. Scott, say something. Tell her something.
I don't know what to say.
Oh my God.
It's not asking you to say allow the camera. Yes. Allow the thing. No, you're not getting any.
Allow
prompt.
the camera and allow the mic. Yeah.
It should come up on two little browser buttons. Should come up when you're connecting.
So at the bottom of the page, there should be a little
I am the host.
icons.
I'm going to add you as soon as you add your camera and your mic. This
Is she on a laptop or is she on her phone?
she's on her phone.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what it should be. This pretty much the same, I'd imagine.
No, what you need to do now is you need to exit and click back on. Then I'll let you in, because as far as I'm concerned, I can't see anything. It says device is not connected. So exit and come back on. Oh my gosh. I'm the worst person to be asking this. It's stressing me out already. Like, now I need another dress. I'm just kidding. I need more feathers. Okay. All right. So now you're coming in, right? You're connected. You're coming in now, right?
Ah, good job.
They put your email in again. This is so hard on the StreamYard. It's really a little crazy. Fortunately, we're not really doing a show, but Sacha can keep talking because he's probably got more intel than I do. So yeah, Sasha's
So
got some
we're seeing
things.
Austria. That's they just decided they were going to lock down again, and everyone that does not have
Just
that
come in,
thing in
just
the
click on the
arm,
link. Click on the link that I sent.
they're going to be arrested and they're going to put in jail. That's the
Crazy.
latest news.
Yeah, I've been speaking to a friend in Vienna this morning on this.
Great.
It's pretty serious. Yeah.
Oh no! Wow.
It's crazy. They can, I mean, this is just crazy.
So the concentration camps, just like they talked about, we're coming. That I've been saying they're coming.
I mean, the wildest thing is how
here they are
fast,
in
how
Austria
fast
now.
this is coming down. I mean, I think that's what's shocking everybody.
I tell you, Scott, that's not a bad sign. The fact that it's coming down so fast is a good sign because that shows the desperate hand. They've got one chance to play this. They're throwing everything
Then
at
get
it.
off the phone
It's
with
already
me and then
failed.
go
We
for it,
know
okay?
that.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm gonna get
I
off.
agree. I agree.
You can't you can't stop what's coming, man. It's like a giant flood that's just starting to happen from every freaking angle,
Yeah.
right?
There's so many lawsuits that are coming at them right now. People are not abiding by their mandates.
Yeah.
We just saw Kyle Rittenhouse just completely acquitted of all of his stuff that was supposed to take away our Second Amendments. And now they're going to try and riot, but they're already arresting people that are trying to riot
They
right now.
arrested people before they rioted because they knew who they were. They've already infiltrated Antifa and Black Lives Matter. They're on to them. They're 2 steps ahead. They're going for it. And really, wait until the 24th. It's going to be juicy. And they said that he will be back definitely before 2022. So it might be a great Christmas after all. So we might really be having a good New Year's Eve. That would be fantastic. There we go. There we go.
What do you think about this whole thing? Obviously Biden's going into having his colonoscopy today, and their what's her
Kamala's
name?
got
Kamala's becoming president for a little while.
Yes, for a little while.
You think that's the way to get him out of this?
They'll have to pull Biden's head out of his ass before they can actually get to the colon. That's the problem.
I heard that was a problem, and they were working on that. They were trying to do it, but it was so deep. They said it was one of the hardest surgeries they've ever done.
It's going to take a long time. Take a long time to get out. And it might fail, and then she's going to be the acting president. But there's problems with that because she's not a natural born citizen, and you have to be a natural born citizen to be elected president. Of course,
mate, she's not a human. She's not a human. That's the problem.
That's true as well.
What about the other 2 Bidens? That actor Arthur Roberts, and they have another one. Don't they have 2 more? They have 2 spares, don't they?
Does that mean 3?
Oh, there she is. There she is. Finally. Oh, there she is. I'm going to add you to the screen.
Hi, everybody.
There she is. The queen is here.
I'm a prehistoric dinosaur left over from the 20th century. So welcome back. Anyway, hello. Here's all my heroes here on this page. I mean, my goodness, I can't believe it. There's Kirsten, Sacha. Hello. You're one of my heroes for sure. And Michael, Jaco, and your wife. I'm
Tracy.
sorry, I don't know your name.
Tracy.
Okay, yes. Tracy. And of course, my buddy, Scott Page.
Yeah.
You're all
my
familiar
Patriot buddy
right now. Yes. Did you know, Scott, that Sacha is a he's a rock and roller too. He's a musician as well. As well as an all-around genius.
Well, about 3 decades ago, very kind of you to draw allusion to that, Sue. That's a very distant incarnation. And I'll tell you, Scott, because I'm slightly younger than you, but when I was in the game, and I did actually get to the point where the contract was put before me, and I'm not talking about just the paper contract. And it was pretty dark and dastardly, and that was the point at which I pulled out. But you guys were already well established, and I think you got in at the front end where the super groups that you represent, my mate Rudolph Schenker and the Scorpions, others were already in the game before that satanic element fully kicked in and then weaponized the rest of the rock and roll industry.
Yeah, it's so fascinating now. I mean, obviously when we were growing up through that, it was all very exciting and you didn't see it. Now when I'm looking back at what we went through, it's so obvious now. all the demonic stuff that was going on and how it's
Oh,
completely
wow.
penetrated our society. I mean, every aspect of it. I was watching Sean Stone, one of his interviews with the Satanic priest, and it was so eye-opening because when you look at what's happening, you know, there's no question this is a spiritual war right now, right? This is a good and evil thing that we've got going on right now. And
oh man, is it ever?
yeah, when you realize that the whole thing, when you look at the ideology is really about, it's all about me and morals are secondary, and you see it in everything. And when the guy was talking, he was saying, he said, aren't you worried that you've left the church and they're going to come after? And he says, no, they laughed. They said, we've already taken over everybody's minds. We've taken over your banks, your churches. We're in your schools. We're in your media. We're in everywhere. And now
Government,
once you see
Wall
it, you
Street,
can't stop it.
everything.
You see it everywhere, right? It's just, it's
Yes.
incredible.
Oh, but by the way, Sasha, we have a good friend in common, and that would be another Stone, not Stoner, but Stone. His name is Sean Stone. So
Sean Stone, yeah.
Sean Stone is a
Very
really
good.
good.
Yeah, he's on my symposium tomorrow. Well, he bloody well better turn up, I can tell you.
I was shocked because I was telling Sean about meeting Sasha. He doesn't know about Michael yet, and I was just shocked to hear that he's moved to Florida because he said he couldn't stand the oppression and the tyranny here in California anymore. So I think a lot of people are of the same mindset, but I think I'm going to stick it out because Kirsten doesn't, agree with me, but I still think Southern California, right, Scott, is still one of the best places to live, so
Yeah.
I'm
As
going to
long as
stick
you're
it out here.
not in the thick of it, right? I mean, if you can bypass it, I guess obviously we're living in nice areas where we don't have any issues, but I'll tell you, going down Santa Monica and down in Venice the other day, it's
Homeless.
unbelievable. I mean, I cried almost. I've never seen
It's
in my
sad,
entire life.
because when I was a bohemian, when I was a wee lass, when I was starting out in life, I was a beach bohemian and I lived in Venice, and then they cleaned it all up and they have these $15-16 million mansion, and then you can't get out of your front door because some homeless person has made their encampment in front of your doorstep. So it's just really insane,
Well,
But,
Sue, here's an idea, Sue. I mean, apparently your house is a sizable percentage of the real estate in California. So you could just declare your own property a micronation. We could get the allodial title on it and plant a flag and be done with it.
There you go.
Yes. Well, I used to date this faux prince, so he wanted me to fly his family flag over the cedars and over my other house in Malibu. It was just hysterical. I'll tell you about that some other time, Scott.
Sasha wanted to send you something to protect your house. What was that?
Yeah, I was just saying before you got on, Sue, I was just in Romania, in Bucharest for about 12 days with a group of military scientists. I had a general flanking me from the time I arrived at the airport till I left, the whole time, day and night. And about 5,000 special ops guys are under the command of this general. I can tell you, they are ring fencing now the good guys, the good Eagle Scouts in the military intelligence that come together in that part of the world, and they're about to kick some serious ass in the new year. But one of the things I was doing with this group was being shown a suite of technologies, which they don't call MedBed. They haven't named them. I don't know about the MedBed stuff, but their technology suite, I saw about 16 or 17 different modules, which is effectively the components that make up the so-called MedBed. We're calling it LifePod technologies, and we're breaking it up into modules to get them to market next year out of Bucharest, out of Romania. And my design and development team are on the case right now, working on the modular components. These are growing teeth back, age reversing, growing limbs back, growing eyeballs back. There's nothing they can't do because they've learned the secret source of triggering the mitochondria in such a way that the genes start turning on again. All the genes that are turned off, which is connected to all disease, decay, and death. It's all about genes turning off systemically. When you learned how to turn the genes on, You go into the reversal, the regenesis. So those technologies are ready to hit the market next year, working closely with the guys on it. And I'll speak more about it when I see you.
Well, if anybody is selling stocks in that company, will you let me know? Because that's what to buy. Because I think so many people have gotten poisoned with the jabs.
Heavy, about 1.5 meters long, and about the diameter is about that thick. And you take this technology, you plant it into the ground of your property. There's a way of doing it and then arming the device. It creates a kind of catalyzing point between the paramagnetic forces of the earth that it's buried into, and the top part is bringing in the dielectric forces of the universe. And that catalyzing kiss point creates a torus plasma shield, which prevents any negative electromagnetic frequencies from coming in. So
like a force field,
to protect
it's not
against.
far out, Scott. That sounds really far out.
Well, we'll try and get one to your property before the party in the New Year's.
Before the party, so we don't get hit with a
Yes, so we don't get hit by a rocket. Yeah, so
we won't get hit by a scalar
I'm
weapon.
doing it for me and for Michael.
For him, because he's already gotten hit by a scalar weapon along with Scott. They already got hit.
A lot of us have, yeah.
So I don't want to get hit. The Chinese girl doesn't want to get hit. So. Okay.
That's just really amazing.
It's to protect the Chinese girls, yeah.
Yeah. The 2 Chinese girls don't want to get hit. She's Chinese too.
You don't even look Chinese. You look European or something like that. But I look Chinese. And by the way, Sacha and Tracy and Michael, I've had a very interesting life because I was born right into the Maoist revolution. And, when I was young, for the first 5.5 years of my life, I lived under, Maoist, totalitarianism. So I can tell you firsthand that it really doesn't work because it's just so oppressive. And what's sad for me now, having immigrated to this country when I was 6.5 years old with my mother to have a reunion with my father here, after really having grown up in the land of the free, to really see America, increasingly resemble, Maoist China. It's just really so disconcerting and so upsetting for me, So that's why, and I'm somebody who's really never been involved in politics before until March of 2020. And then since I'm intuitive, I just really knew something was wrong. And so in 2.5 months of lockdown, I started to get into it. And there was no question which side I would be on, not ever, having looked into Democrats or Republicans or any of that side, and I actually don't really like any labels anyway. I don't like the term conservative or Republican or anything. To me, it's just really being on the right side. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's being on the right side of history, But I really have admired all 3 of your work for a long time. Scott and I, catch you guys every single day, right, Scott?
Pretty much. I got to say, I'm definitely into this pretty deep. I've spent quite a few hours in this whole world. And, again, for me, one of the things that's just been mind blowing is, again, you had Patel Patriot on the other day, his whole thing about devolution, which I think is, I've read all of his stuff. I've gone in, looked at all the documents.
Right?
I've been through the whole thing. And it sure seems to me like that's probably the game that's being played right now. I can't.
Oh, totally. Absolutely.
It's definitely going down. So it's fascinating to see what's happening right now.
Well, I saw it before Trump left. He was definitely putting that into movement. Because I've been part of on the back end, being Navy SEAL and CIA and stuff like that. Yeah. We are basically set up to help that, go through if it does happen. So I saw the process starting to come through, and I was like, they're doing that, so it's good. Yeah. I mean, so they're not going to telegraph it until it's time to actually step in at the very last moment and say, this is what we did. Yeah. Of course, I think that they're already trying to telegraph and trying to shut that down because they're saying that, Trump is going to try and come in and do a coup with the military. Yeah, exactly. That's what you guys have done. So we know every time they say something like that, they're always the culprit. So that's what's happening right now.
Yeah, you flipped the script 180 degrees. Exactly
Absolutely.
right. But Sue, what you were saying earlier about your backstory, I mean, you will have grown to realize, of course, in the intervening years, that it was Wall Street that financed Mao. It was the same Masonic establishment that promulgated Maoism and ensured it. So the fact that, you know, the Chinese communist complex is now permeating the fabric of the so-called democratic West is that's no secret, but it was always factored into the equation. First, take down the the Bolshevik Revolution, financed by the Vatican and the Crown through Wall Street. Take, Trotsky, Lenin, Stalin, the whole lot. All of that was fomented through Wall Street and through the Anglo-American corporation, the satanic banksters coming out of the black nobility and the Jesuitical traditions. But that was always designed to cookie cutter from Russia, once that kicked in, onto Maoism in China, and then to mainland USA. That was always.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
it's interesting because I just really don't think that communism is a doctrine that really works.
Never.
Having grown up for the first formative years of my life, and I think China just really started growing by leaps and bounds only when basically they opened up to the West. With the economic reforms brought on by Deng Xiaoping, of course. So. Yes, but I can tell you all kinds of stories about eating rats, in China,
Wow.
just to survive because, basically when there's war and pestilence and revolution, who are the people who really suffer? It's really the common people, it's really not the elites or the leaders, but it's really the common people. So there was famine and starvation, and my little grandmother used to chase rats around the house just so that I would have something in my stomach. And if my mother came back from the fields with 3 small little field mice, that was a big treat. So, yes, I've had a very interesting life, and now I'm sitting in this really fabulous historical mansion, so
You're the hero that everyone wants to.
Oh, yeah.
The life that everyone in the world wants to live. You're the greatest example. It's beautiful.
But
Good job.
Michael, I am the quintessential American dream.
Absolutely.
I basically came from next to nothing. I'm a complete self-made woman, and I have not had it easy in life. I've had so many falls and so many ups and downs and tragedies and everything. But here I am. I'm still standing, and life is good. So I think it's just really a matter of your attitude.
Yes.
If you have the right attitude, you can really survive anything.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I'm so thrilled to really have you as my guest for New Year's, and I think you guys are going to be fighting over the bedrooms, but
we can probably work something out.
Listen, I don't want to embarrass Michael and beat him up in public. I mean,
I know, right? I don't want that.
Okay, I'm gonna be democratic or despotic, I should say, and I'm gonna assign the bedrooms right now. There are 3 en-suite bathrooms in the historical, bedroom wing. Kirsten is gonna have the Greta Garbo room, and I'm gonna give the Jimi Hendrix room to Sacha and his girlfriend.
Nice.
And Michael, you get the royal master bedroom, which is the most spectacular room in the whole house. Because
everybody's like, "Oh, I didn't know about that one."
It's this huge dome, hand-painted fresco. It's gold leafed, and then it has frescoes painted all around it. It's the Johnny Depp room. It's the Howard Hughes room.
Howard Hughes.
Yeah, Howard Hughes lived in this house. So it's a historical home. It's the most badass place you will ever see in all of Hollywood. And like rock gods lived here. I wouldn't say just rock stars; they were rock gods. So you had the likes of Jimi Hendrix, of course. And Sasha, you're gonna love the Jimi Hendrix room because I did it all in sort of 1920s Moroccan
Yeah,
style.
it's definitely Sacha.
It's amazing.
Got Sasha's look. Cut
Sasha,
out.
I have to come over just just to pick up something I probably left there in another lifetime. I'll explain it then.
So let me tell you, Sasha, since you're a rocker, let me tell you what other rockers lived here, rock gods. So you had Lou Reed and the Velvet Underground. You had Bob Dylan. You had Jimi Hendrix, who was brought in by his buddy, Arthur Lee and the band called Love. And he was the only member that I actually met who lived in the house because I allowed him to do a film documentary here. So Arthur Lee and a group called Love. So, he was really good friends with a young Jimi Hendrix. So he brought Jimi Hendrix in here. And then we had, oh my goodness, so many other people. Norma Talmadge lived here. This is called the Norma Talmadge Estate. And also she was married to Joseph Schenck, who founded 20th Century Fox Studios. And they would invite their friends, Charlie Chaplin, who only lived about half a mile away here. He lived in the guest house of the Cecil B. DeMille Mansion, which is now owned by Angelina Jolie. So he used to come here with Douglas Fairbanks Sr. and Mary Pickford. And 5 of them went on to form United Artists Pictures together. So, then Howard Hughes lived here circa 1930-31. And then Errol Flynn lived here. And then Bela Lugosi lived here. He played the, Dracula, character. And so because he lived here, Johnny Depp had to live here because he was preparing for his role as Ed Wood in that Tim Burton movie about that movie director. And then in the late 60s, Peter Fonda and Dennis Hopper made Easy Rider here.
Oh, we lost her. What happened?
Yeah, I lost you. How do I get you back? Oh dear.
I have no idea. You're asking the wrong person.
Okay.
There you go.
My back? Yes. So anyway, yeah, it's really a great old house. It's almost 100 years old. We're gonna have to have a 100-year-old anniversary party, Scott.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so I did an Oscar party 2 years ago, and that's how I met Scott. So he and I have bonded, and we're just really great buddies. Scott is really one of my favorite friends. He's just really a great guy, really super duper smart.
You're too kind, Sue. Thank you.
And not only that, but a really, really a badass, saxophonist. He is the best.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Do you remember the Lawrence Welk show?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Okay, well, the Lawrence Welk show. Maybe all of you are too young to remember, but I remember in the 60s. Was it the 50s or 60s? There was a variety show called the Lawrence Welk Show, and it was on for years and years and years. And Scott's dad was the saxophonist,
So I grew up on television. I grew up on TV. It was a big variety show back in the day. So it was very interesting. I've had a pretty interesting ride. The's no question. Seeing the
and didn't he play like 23 instruments or something like that?
We played 14. So he was a doubler. He did a lot of that. And then he was NBC staff, and he played, did the light opera season. He was a really incredible studio musician kind of guy.
Incredible. Wow.
Yeah, well, I think Scott was practically born with a saxophone in his mouth. So yeah, it should be a really great New Year's Eve, party. I'm not going to have a huge one. It's going to be probably, I say 100, but knowing me and knowing how my guests work, it'll probably be about 150. So now we got to really get some great musicians to really come and play and to really welcome all these guys.
Sasha, you gotta sit in, man. We got to do something.
Well,
guest appearance. Let's do it.
But Scott, let me just tell you, and I'm quite serious about this. I made a pledge on the 1st of August, 1997, which is that I would, when I first had a major epiphany / download and about the deep state element, the satanic underground that is the source code of this galactic sleep cycle that we're now awakening from. When I had that full comprehensive epiphany, I swore to myself two things. One, I would wear a funereal armband until every last child was removed from the basement and separate, you know, metaphorically speaking. And secondly, that I would not enjoin song again in my life until the playing field was leveled. So very kind of you, but I'll be at the back playing the castanets.
Castanets are fine. You can pick up anything. You can just pound on it. It doesn't matter.
Yes, well,
Even better.
Sasha, only if you promise to perform the flamenco dance while you're doing that.
I would love to ask a question just in because it's obviously it's a massive topic right now. And, you know, I come out not only in the entertainment space, kind of been kind of known in the technology area. So I've built networks, I've built tech companies, mostly in the entertainment and tech. And, you know, we're getting ready to go into a thing that there's really no way to stop what's going on with technology when you look at what's happening inside the metaverse. This whole idea of parallel, you know, physical world going into the virtual world. I would love to hear the take of people thinking about what's happening in that space and just kind of, you know, I'd love to hear what you're thinking, Sacha, because man, it can be very dark in there because it's a very easy way to like slip into darkness in a place where you can go and fantasize. And I think the only thing we can do is try to work out ways to bring a positive spin to what can also be inside the metaverse. So I'm just curious to hear what people think about that.
Interesting. I did it.
I have to check out, guys. I got a show that I'm supposed to be on a little bit late, so.
Okay.
So it was great meeting everyone.
Bye,
I look forward to talking to you guys again.
Wonderful meeting you, Michael. I
You
have
too,
your
Sue
phone
and
number
Scott.
now.
Sasha.
Do I have Michael's
Sue.
phone number?
I'll give it to you, Sue. I'll give you everyone's
Okay.
number.
I'll text you some history of the Cedars and I'll send you some photos of your future room. How's that?
Oh, wow. That'd be amazing. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Nice meeting you guys.
Bye, Michael.
We look forward to seeing you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. To answer the question there, Scott, I did a show yesterday. Well, actually, it was a panel of civic leaders and frontline activists in New York City on the ground who are really the guys holding the line right now, today, this week, with what's happening in New York. And Jimmy Levy came on, and he's the top selling artist right now in this, with what's going on in terms of New York and picking up on the street and translating that into his music. And he was just the most loving, grounded, beautiful creature. He's out there. He's not afraid of anything. He's in a state of grace, a state of absolution and redemption was what he was talking about. I'm the one who's saying, hang the fuckers by the neck, you know, and he's going, no, it's all good. It's all good. We anchor this energetic in Babylon. And he's right. He got it right. So the artists that matter are getting that this is a spiritual war, and they're getting that they have to anchor frequencies. This is a frequency war far more than it is a economic, social, political, and even
totally agree.
War.
Totally agree with that. 100%.
There's your answer. They're on it.
Yeah, great. Yeah, because it's fascinating. It's moving so quickly right now. And obviously it has all the momentum because you're seeing fame and fortune being made, you know, because I'm in this space, you know, technology is my thing. I've been heavily in the NFT space right now because I think that really kind of democratizes the whole idea of owning artists, owning assets and being able to control their whole thing. Been a big, you know, following the blockchain, all the good and then all the dark. I mean, there's it's a wild time that we're going through, but you know, we really can't stop what's happening. All we can do is kind of embrace it. And hopefully consciousness becomes the thing, because, you know, it's fascinating. You know, consciousness is my favorite subject on the planet. There's nothing else that matters more to me, period. I mean, that's just that you blink, you're 50, you blink, you're on your deathbed, time's an illusion, all that. That's totally there. And so, it's interesting to see that, we're watching this. All the books, I read a few books. I've been reading a book called I, Reality and Subjectivity by a guy named Dr. David Hawkins, who's one of my favorites for years. He's like my guru, right? And it's interesting. I've been reading the book. I've been reading the same book for 15 years now, and I just keep reading it, or 12 years, whatever it is. And what I did is I start reading the book, and wherever I saw the word ego, I replaced it with AI. And really what comes to my mind is I think you've got consciousness, the real deal, and then you've got this artificial intelligence. And that's really the war, because the ego has taken over the algorithms, because whoever controls the algorithm is going to control the people, right? I mean, we're already seeing that in the media, just in general of what we're seeing. And you can see how powerful it is, because I'm seeing some of the smartest people. My friends that are like the most intelligent people that cannot free think at all anymore. It really shows the power of what's going on, because if they were able to free think, there's no question they would just go, this is insane what's happening. But it's amazing how it's taken everybody over. So it's really, this is such a crazy time, but I think we're really fighting this whole AI is really kind of the ego part, the dark side that we've got to overcome. And so it'll be very interesting to see what happens. But there is definitely a great awakening happening amongst people in consciousness, and that is definitely, I think, very encouraging. So we'll see. I don't know if humans are going to be around in 100 years.
Humans will be around, Scott. I mean, like I said, the technological innovations have now reached that fulmination point where we can stimulate mitochondria, turn the genes on, activate the Cloto gene, and begin the resurrection of the human biology from the inside. Right. The problem has been the fallen light of Atlantis, to use my favorite expression to describe the deactivated noosphere, the fact that we are contained still within the mutant geometry of a galactic sleep cycle, which prohibits the natural vibral light from the sun out there to connect to the central sun of the inner earth. And once that umbilical, hyperdimensional umbilical is reconvened, the noosphere will activate and dissipate the fallen light of Atlantis, which is connected to ancient galactic wars. It's connected to depleted uranium from, countless seedings of humanity playing with nuclear, bombs and all the rest of it. You've got the thrall of that, which is still containing our capacity to reactivate, not just at the galactic level and the planetary level, but at the level of our own genetics and the codons. We know we've been operating at 2 to 3 out of 12 codons for a long time as human technology. Now that we are collectively projecting into the field the unresolved aspects of who we've been incarnationally, civilizationally for a long time, that horror story, that apocalypse that we are projecting into the field back at ourselves is the greatest gift and benediction that we're giving to ourselves, because it will call us out. Every single one of us are being called out. The reckoning and the tribulation are upon each one of us. No one gets to hide behind the fucking sofa any longer. No one gets to hide behind words and spells and deeds and bonds. Each of us are called out at the atom seed of who we are as a human being, as a son or daughter of God. That is a benediction of benedictions, because what it means is that all the frequency sets in this sphere that are not commensurate with the Christed light, that vibral light that is impacting the earth plane right now, the so-called photon band, will be phased out of existence in the coming few short years. Time itself will disappear, because time is the greatest illusion.
Big illusion.
The lords of time, do the bidding of Yaldabaoth. Yaldabaoth is that collective unresolved aspect, the archonic elemental cloud intelligence. Beneath that, you've got the lords of time, and beneath that, you've got Cronus, the titan that devours its own young, which comes in as a demonic element and intervenes and intercedes in the power structures of this earth plane. So that's how, in the last 500 years, really since the Vatican became fully weaponized and began the systemic genociding of the black skin, brown skin, yellow skin, and red skin people, that's the blood cult. That's the blood sport that fed the demonic realm into Cronus, the crowns of Europe. And all of that led to the Anglo-American Corporation, which led to what we've got today. Right. The attempt to reduce the whole of the planet into a collectivist, Fabianist, satanic, AI, transhumanist Borg complex. Ain't going to happen, baby, because we say so.
Just knocked it out of the park, buddy. That
Yeah, really.
that
It
was really-
sounds like a huge
Yep.
paradigm shift. That is for sure,
Yep.
in consciousness. And, a lot of the people, Scott, that we talk about, our friends and that sort of thing, they
Mhm.
simply just really haven't awakened. And that's why their consciousness is just really, lost, so
Yeah.
to speak.
Well, the rude awakening is coming every day right now. I mean, this is
Yes,
what
it
we're
is.
watching happen. This is like, it's just if you're paying attention and you look at everything that's going on, it's like all my friends like that. What are you talking about? They don't see it because they're looking at that one little band of information that they're getting. But if you're out there, I mean,
They
thank
can't-
God for the People's Army, right? I mean, thank for all the patriots and the people that are out there pushing in the under, all these networks, Telegram, where we are. Look at us. We're having these conversations right
Well,
now.
most of them can't
God,
get
man.
beyond their hatred for Donald Trump. That's the problem, So
It's
they're
so crazy.
It is so crazy. They're really, can't get behind the, the personality of Trump, to
Well,
just
I mean, it's
really
so bad. They can sit,
picture.
they can sit there and they can look at, man, here with the I mean, our freaking inflation through the roof, gas prices, freaking, I mean, all this stuff that's going
Well,
on.
now it's in
Business
their
is being shut
face.
down, but they still like Biden better because it's not Trump, right? It's amazing the power of the.
I don't know.
of
He's
taking
really
these people's
sinking
mind.
in the polls big time.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
supposed to be 36%. I bet you anything it's really probably more like 20%.
Yeah.
They're not even telling the truth,
It has to be.
Agreed.
And then like Dave from X22 had this very strange what do you call a scenario possibly set up where somehow they would sneak in Hillary as the president, and then she would really like bring Obama in as her vice president. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, so it's an interesting scenario. Obviously, Biden's on his way out. I mean, he's got to go. There's no question they're going to pull him out. He's not going to last long, right? I mean, I think we'd agree to that. The thought is you're looking at Kamala. She's dropping so fast. I mean, she's down in the gutter. They know that if Biden goes, putting her in, that's a disaster for, the party. Just imagine having her. So the thought is the opportunity. Again, if you look at the legal aspects of how the government runs, there's an opportunity for somebody to slide in because the vice president doesn't have to be, I guess, it can be somebody from the outside can be brought in. So there was some thought that they would say, well, who would take the place? Because if she takes over the party with the sinking at the party, it's over. They know Biden's got to go. So who do they do? So there was been talk about the fact that they could possibly bring in Hillary to take in the vice president space, where they would take her and then he would be taken out and then moved into being, she would end up being the president. It's an interesting concept. If somebody gets moved in.
I thought that Hillary is supposed to be dead. I thought she was taken out.
Right. I don't think she's even part of the equation, but I think we're missing the point respectfully. I think we can't get pulled into the kind of low-grade internecine notions of what the political dynamics are and who's trying to move what chess piece. We're beyond that. We've already tipped into the hyperspheres here. What I'm saying is this. We need to now observe the chessboard from a different perspective. We need to talk in terms of archetypal geometry. So look at Biden. He is the perverse, inverted patriarch. He is the patriarch gone rogue. He is an effete abhorrence and abomination as a human being, assuming the role of the benevolent patriarch. He's a motherfucker, and we all know it. On the other side of the equation, you've got the female Kamala, who's also a bastardized inversion of the matriarch. She's younger, she's more attractive, she's supposed to be the mama that's coming to the rescue. No, they're both two sides of exactly the same coin. The geometry there is diabolical, and the world can see it, feel it. Right. And I think that's the point. It means the end of the Democratic Party, which means the end of party politics, which means the end of demonism made politic, meaning to say democracy, which is demonism, mob rule, brought in through coercion. There's more honesty in Chinese communism than there is in Western capitalist democracy. There's more honesty in authenticity.
I agree with that, yes.
So we need neither. We need neither.
Yeah,
right.
Interesting. So what do you
Well,
think? So
I
how do
have
you
to-
see it? How do you see it unfolding right now? Obviously, there's this. You can see what's going on. They're creating some story about, they're having big riffs and they're going.
Well,
at it.
he's trying to put Kamala into the Supreme Court if they have an opening. And as for the crypto, we now confirm my intel that Bitcoin is going to crash because China cannot afford to mine for it anymore, and they're closing down the mining. As you know,
we already
Bitcoin
know
is linked to child trafficking, and that's what they use it for. So
Yeah, here's the
that's
thing.
created by the CIA, and they're going to take it
Yes.
down. It's going down.
Here's the thing
It's going
about
down.
that, though. They moved all the mining. It all just moved over to the U.S. Because remember, it's a decentralized system. When you get down to the bottom, the main
Yeah.
piece of it, right? And so they can't really. It's very difficult to stop. I mean, obviously they shut down the power grids and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not so sure if that's going to be the case. I think it's going to crash. It's going to have a moment. I think we're going to. Personally, I'm making a prediction. I think we're going to see a massive run in it right now for a while. I think we could see $150,000 Bitcoin before. Then it's going to crash. It'll probably do an 80% dump and it'll turn. But I mean,
no, not according to my intel. My intel says XRP will rise like the phoenix. Once the cabal is down, they've been suppressing XRP. XRP is the new crypto that's going to go sky high.
Well, that's still crypto. My point is,
yeah, that's
Bitcoin
still
is just
crypto, but not Bitcoin. Not Bitcoin.
Yeah, but here's the thing:
XRP.
Bitcoin is really just store. It's like gold. It's a storage mechanism of stuff. It's not really so much about trading, even though they just now added the smart contracts into the Bitcoin now, which is going to change things in a way. But I don't really see. To me, it's like really the only thing that the people have any kind of control of is in the Bitcoin, because it's a direct to consumer model. No middleman. The machines are controlling it. I see it differently. I don't think it's going to go away. I think there's so much money in it now. I think what coins actually win, that we can debate all day long, whether XRP is going to be the one or whatever, but it's going to be pretty hard to stop what's coming down now because there's so much moving into it. I mean, think about it. The one thing about Bitcoin, listen, if they take over the banks right now, fiat currency, is going in the toilet. We're at the end of this freaking central bank system. They got to do something quickly.
They've already funded the rainbow currency and the rainbow bonds. The rainbow bonds were funded on November 11th, Christmas in November. That's what the date that I said. The bonds were funded, and Nasera and Jacera should be on November 24th. So it's all happening this month. It's all happening this month. The finances are happening this month. Yes. Yes.
It's going to be interesting to see. I've heard a bit about that. I just don't know enough about it.
Well, we'll see if my intel's correct. It's been 95%. Anyway, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Sacha from Mexico, Scott.
Yes,
and
thank
Sue
you,
from
Sacha.
LA, and see you soon.
It's such a great honor meeting you.
Look forward to meeting you. Look forward to
See you
seeing
soon. See you soon.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Great honor.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.